To visit our Vimeo page and follow us to get the latest update.
The general specific parameters, what is going to be required, okay, from the parameters related to the customization part, okay? So, okay, mapping is the one part, that is very good, okay? So mapping, we are doing the key mapping, we are doing the value mapping, and we are doing the cost object mapping. That is the part of one part. But SAP is very clearly specifying that, okay, the master data of the sender system and the source system has to be maintained. Before you do any kind of transactions. So the master data, check the master data between the source system and the target system over here. Now, when I go to the source system, okay, when I go to yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, no, go ahead.
Okay. So when we take a source system here, okay, so I'm taking the source system as the EPX. EPX is nothing but the source system. Now, when I see the transactions over here, okay, when I see the master data over here, now let me go to the GL accounting, okay, something like, well, let me go and look about the portion about the accounting. Okay, in that accounting, I'll go for the financial accounting for the global settings. Okay, in the global settings, go to the company code. And here we are going to be talking about the parallel accounting. Okay, so parallel accounting is very, very important for us. Okay, parallel accounting. Okay, in this parallel accounting, okay, here, what we are going to do here is nothing but understanding about the concepts of accounting and the ledgers, additional ledgers. Now, yes, okay, I understand that this is going to be calling it the ledgers concept. Okay, now, but in SAP S4HANA, now when you see the delta changes between the SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA, there are a lot of delta changes have been incorporated. Now the currency settings and the ledger concepts are completely different in SAP S4HANA. Okay, now what is the differentiation? First, we'll talk from the currency side. Okay, because already we have learned about in SAP ECC and in SAP S4HANA, but to get something about the revamp. Okay, so when I go to the currency settings, what is the transaction? What is the T code we are using? Currency settings in SAP ECC. I told before, this is very, very important actually. See, the concepts of SAP S4HANA are very, very important before we enter into the central finance. Very, very important. Okay, as I've been telling you specifically that, okay, the ledger concept and everything, the master data of the GL accounting and the vendor accounting, customer accounting, the most important thing about the concepts of the ledger and currency types are very, very important, where we need to do the configuration. Before you do the mapping, first you have to complete all this configuration in SAP Central Finance, mapping the entries of the source system to the target system. Now, when I go into the SAP, when I go to the SAP ECC, especially from the SAP ECC point of view, so we have a transaction code color OB22. OB22. Now, when I go to the OB22, this is what exactly we are supposed to do the currency settings in SAP ECC. When I go to the company code HANA, which I created HANA, HANA. Now here is the company code.
Did you get a chance to find what happened to RK01 company code?
I told you the basis team, they're checking out.
Okay.
Okay. If you see the company code HANA here, okay, HANA has been maintained, okay, HANA, the chart of accounts have been maintained to the HANA, and the fiscal year variant is going to be calling it as the V3. Now, I'll go to the additional settings here. In the additional settings, what I had to do here is, earlier I was supposed to do I had to go to the new entries. And in the new entries, okay, so I need to do the currency settings over here like this. So I need to give the company code. Earlier, before you enter into the SAP S4HANA, when I talk about the currency settings in SAP ECC, there are, okay, one is going to be called as a default currency, which is called as a local currency. If you can see here, the first currency is always called as the local currency in SAP ECC. And whereas there are two additional currencies are there. One is going to be called as second currency, and the third one we are going to be taking as a third currency called as hard currency or index-based currency. Now, what is the company code currency? You all know that, okay? No need to tell about all those things, okay? So company code currency is the currency which we have assigned it to the company code. Company code currency is the currency type which we have assigned it to the company code. Now, how do you know what is the currency type which has been assigned to the company code? Which currency? If I press enter, see, by default, it is going to be getting as an INR. Yes, this is called as the company code currency. The first currency always will be called as a company code currency only. There is no other way. Company code currency is going to be, and there are two additional currencies are there. One is going to be called as second currency, another one is third. These are the two optional. It is not a compulsory that you have to maintain these two currency. But if I have a company codes in many countries, yes, I am doing a project. I have 30 to 40 company codes or maybe 10 to 15 company codes are there. Every company code will be having a different company code currency. One company code is having the INR, one company code is having the USD, GBP, Euro, like that. I have a different company codes in the same client, but each and every company code have the different local currency. But at the end, but if you go to the end, any reporting, something like month-end closings, after you complete the month-end closing activity, I want a consolidated, I want a currency which has to be seen all the reports in one currency, like a group currency. We call it as a group currency. So my company codes are different because each and every company code is a legal entity assigned with a currency that is the local currency. But when I want to see the reports at one group level, irrespective of number of local currencies which I had defined, I want to have one group currency. So have you assigned the group currency to the company code? No, I have not assigned. If you see, the second currency is always going to be vacant over here. So what I will do here, I'll take the second currency as a group currency. What is the group currency type? Here, the currency type of the 10 is going to be calling it as a local currency. Now, what I will do, I'll go into the SAP S4HANA now. I'm entering into the SAP S4HANA. This is my SAP S4HANA screen. If you see here, DVD2. Now I'll go to the currency setting, SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, global settings. Now I need to come to the ledgers. Why? Because now the total, now there is no OB22 transaction. Now there is no OB22 transaction like this. Now the OB22 transaction has been completely removed now in SAP S4HANA because we are doing the currency and the ledger configuration setting at the central, because AC Toka table has come. Now what is happened earlier? So now earlier we have the different tables. If I go into some PPT, okay, so if I go into the paint, okay, so I'll make you refresh about all the processes. Yogesh and Rajesh, have you gone through the training on SAP S4HANA?
Yes.
Yes, Mahesh. I mean, yeah.
Mahesh, we know all this stuff. Just continue, okay? All right.
Okay. So I'll be asking the questions, Ajay sir, okay? Okay. Now, in SAP S4HANA, when you go back to the SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA, in SAP S4HANA, we have the one line item label table called as a BSEC table. And now in SAP S4HANA, we call it the line item label table called as ACDOCA table, at DOCA table. This BSEC table is called as an FI table. Normally, we have the different components are there in SAP ECC, like we have the FI, and we have the CO, we have the asset accounting, we have the controlling, we have the management accounting like COPA, and we have the material management, material ledger. Okay, we have different components, 5 applications I'm going to be talking here. So I'm going to be talking about the 5 applications. What are the 5 applications here? I'm talking about the FI, and I'm talking about the CO, and I'm talking about the asset accounting, that is the fixed asset accounting, and we are also talking about the COPA. COPA is nothing but profitability analysis, and finally, we are talking about the material ledger. Okay, these are the 5 components we are going to be talking. In SAP ECC, I'm not talking in SAP S4HANA. In SAP ECC, the currency settings are going to be done for each and every component level. Yes, when I go to the BSEC table, which is called as an FI, how many currencies can be defined at the FI level earlier? How many currencies can be defined for an FI?
3.
3, na? Very good, sir. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. How many currencies can be defined at the controlling level?
1.
No. In the controlling level, we are going to be defining 2 currencies, sir. 2 currencies, okay? How many currencies you are going to be defined at the asset accounting level?
3.
3. Very good, sir. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. About the material ledger, sir?
I don't know.
Okay. 3. Okay. And asset accounting is going to be using the COPA is going to be using the same currency settings of your CO. Okay. Now, when I come to the FI, so at the BSEC, FI is nothing but a BSEC table. Now in SAP S4 also we have the BSEC table. As I understand that. Okay, so we all know that SAP ECC with SAP S4HANA. When I see the table comparison, now the data structure has been completely changed. Now in SAP FI, we still have the BSEC table in SAP S4HANA. So now when I go to the currencies, the first currency is going to be always called as the default, called as the 10. 10 is called as the local currency or the company code currency. And the 30 we are going to be checking. Second currency, okay, by optionally we'll take as 30. 30 is called as a group currency. That is going to be called as the group currency. And the BSEC is nothing but, okay, we are going to be taking third currency as the 40 or 50. 40 is nothing but a hard currency and the 50 is the index-based currency. So normally we are going to be defining the currency settings each and every application level, like controlling, asset accounting, COPA, FI, and mid ledger. Now in SAP S4HANA, now when you are doing the central finance, of the master data between SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA, now we need to do the currency calculations and the currency settings at the AC DOCA table level. Not at the BSEC, not at the COPA. Why? Because now what is happening? All these 5 components are integrated. Now, if you go and see all these 5 components, each and every field, what you are going to be deriving earlier, now all the fields are going to be available in AC DOCA table. Okay. Now, SAP has asking us to maintain the central currency configuration. Now, what is the currency configuration we are going to do in SAP S4? We call it as the central currency configuration. Do it as a central currency configuration. What is the central currency configuration? The central currency configuration is nothing but, so we are doing the current currency configuration to the AC DOCA table level, which is applicable for all these 5 components. Earlier, we are defining each and every component and we are maintaining each and every component with the currency settings. Now, what is happening? Now, all these 5 components fields are available in AC DOCA table. Now, today onwards, you no need to segregate each and every component. So all the postings are going to be done to one single table. Only one single table. Now we are doing the central currency configuration. Now here the problem is going to be done. Okay. Now how to do the central currency configuration? So what is the base I need to take if I go for a central finance? Yes, what is the base I need to take about the central finance? How do I map everything? Now let me see one by one. Okay. Now when I go to the SAP S4HANA, now the currency settings are going to be maintained at the ledger.
Mahesh?
Yes, sir.
The currency configuration that we are talking right now is only applicable when we implement central finance, or is it going to be applicable even for S4HANA system?
No, it is applicable for SAP S4HANA. Now what is happening,
okay,
sir? Now what is happening? Now you have the central SAP S4HANA system as a central finance system. I'm right, sir?
Mm-hmm.
So now, before I do any kind of mappings or everything, something like posting of the transaction, first of all, I need to have the master data. Without the master data, I cannot do any kind of transaction posting or nothing, because central finance system, you got the license and you got all the applications. Now it is a system which has to be monitored and it has to be delivered based on the transaction. But where is the master data? Without the master data, I cannot replicate. I cannot post any transaction to my central finance. As I told you that HANA is there. HANA is my company code in ECC. But what is the company code you are going to be using in SAP S4HANA?
There are 10 currencies on the S4HANA side, okay? And S4HANA is a driver for central finance, okay? Regardless of its accounts or currency configuration, okay? That's what I know. Am I correct or wrong?
Can you repeat, sir?
what I said was S4HANA is the driver for central finance. On the academic side, on the S4HANA side, there are 10 currencies, a maximum of 10 currencies, and that provision has been made in the Aquadoca table, and that will drive central finance as well.
Correct. You're correct. Exactly. Okay.
I mean,
Now, but here's the problem here is for me here. Now, SAP is very clearly telling me, SAP is very clear telling me not only the AC Docker table. AC Docker table is nothing but you call it as a SAP S4HANA, which is called as the Universal General Entry Table. Apart from the Universal General Entry Table, we have the BSEC table also live in SAP S4HANA now. Very, very important, sir. BSEC table
yes,
is also
correct.
live. Now, my understanding here, when I go for the configuration, when I do the configuration, central currency configuration, now earlier I am, Ajay sir, can you please put your phone?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So when I do the central currency configuration, SAP is very clearly telling me that, okay, we have the line item level table called as the AC Docker table, which is called as the central line item level table for all the 5 components. And apart from that, still we have the BSEC table is live in SAP S4HANA. Very, very important. Still the SAP BSEC table is going to be the live, and we have to do the currency configuration settings with the BSEC, and not only for the BSEC, you have to do the same time at the AC Docker table level. Now, the problem here is why now I got a little bit of confusion over here. Now, why we have to use the BSEC table? Because already SAP S4 is very clearly telling me that AC Docker table is still it is available, but why should I use the BSEC table over here? Anybody?
I believe there are some modules
Okay.
Where it hits a BSEC, but it doesn't go to AC Docker table.
Example, sir, can you have an example if you know?
Module Profit Center.
Profit Center fields are available in BSEC table, sir.
No, sorry, this project structures, WBS, something like that.
But the project system is not coordinated with my AC Docker because anyhow I have the WBS elements in both the components.
Okay.
Now here, when I see the BSEC level table here, very, very important question here is going to be the BSEC level table. Now the BSEC level table is, there are 2 views. If you open any document, if you view any document in SAP, there are 2 views are there. If you go and see the document in SAP, there are 2 views are there. One is going to be calling it as the entry view. One is called as the entry view. Another one is going to be calling as a ledger view. And this is the ledger view. That is, we call it as the GL view. Now, go to any document. We have 2 views are there. One is the entry view and what is the ledger view. What is this entry view and ledger view? I think now it is not a new concept in SAP S4HANA. We also know the concept in SAP ECC also. So what is this entry view? What is the purpose of entry view and what is the ledger view? Anybody?
Yeah, Mahesh, if I remember it correctly, I may be wrong here.
So tell me, sir.
Cannot use the posting view, okay, financial transaction.
Okay.
Just like you gave an example one time of a material document and a GL document.
Okay.
Material document just had nothing but quantity. It's just information, okay? GL view is the one which is the financial transaction, okay? Whereas the entry view basically nothing more than a memo item, and that's not a financial transaction, okay?
No, sir. No. Entry view is also financial transaction because see, if I go and open the document in my FB03 transaction, because all the documents I can view in the FB03 transaction. So FB03 is nothing but a financial transaction. Whichever the entries which are getting reconciled to my general ledger accounting, whether it is a vendor related or customer related or asset related or controlling or middle, whatever the documents which will be having the impact on the general ledger, normally those documents I will go and open in FB03. So if I open any document in FB03, I have 2 views are there. One is the entry view, another one will be the general ledger view. Now, why we are going to be, why the SAP is differentiating between the entry view and the ledger view. I'll tell you. Now, I think you people have been known about now the SAP S4HANA. Now in SAP S4HANA AC Docker table, we have called as multi-gap capability. We call it as a multi-gap capability configuration. What is this multi-gap capability? Multi-gap capability. Now, when you go and see, we have the leading ledgers and we have the non-leading ledgers. Leading ledgers normally will be assigned to all the company cores. One leading ledger will be assigned to all the company cores, and we have separately designed the non-leading ledgers for selected company cores. And because non-leading ledgers, we are going to be using selected company cores. So when I post a document in SAP, when I post a document in SAP S4HANA, not in SAP, when I post a document directly in SAP S4HANA, what is happening? All the ledgers are getting posted. All the ledgers are getting posted. Now I take one example here. Now, as Ajay sir told that, okay, so we have the PO. We have the PO that is called as a purchase order. Against to the purchase order, I'm going to do the goods receipt. Goods receipt is nothing but the raw material which I have ordered. Now I have received the raw material, that is called the goods receipt. That is raw material received against the purchase order. Okay. When I post the goods receipt, who is posting the goods receipt? The consultants are posting the goods receipt against to the purchase order. Now what is happening? Once the MyGo transaction has got posted, there will be two documents will be generated. Two documents will be generated. One document is called as a material document.
Yes.
One document is called as a material document. Another one is going to be called as accounting document. Another one is going to be calling it as an accounting document. I am not bothered about my material document because as a financial consultant, I'm least bothered about the material document. I don't want to look into the material document at all. Because material document only talks about the quantity only. Material document talks about the quantity of the material you have received against to the purchase order. But whatever the accounting document, whichever the accounting document which has generated automatically, okay, this accounting document, what is happening? It is getting integrated with your general ledger accounting, which is getting integrated with this. Only the accounting document is getting integrated with your general ledger accounting now. Okay. Now, when I go and open, okay, this is integrated with your general ledger accounting because material document will never integrate because that is only the purpose of the raw material you have received. But accounting document is very, very important. Now, what is the cost? What is the material cost and what is the sending cost? Now, everything I can go and do in my general ledger accounting. Now, when I go into the GL, when I open this document in FB03, okay, the same accounting document, the material document number, I can tell it is 101 and the accounting document is going to be calling it as a 201. When I open the 201 document in my FI, that is the reconciled document type from the material, that is from the MM to the FI, when I open this document here, which is going to be called as 201 document, this 201 document contains about the two views are there. One is called as the entry view, another one is called as the general ledger view. Very, very important. So what is the entry view is going to be talking? The entry view will always talks about the original document that has got posted in your MM process. What do you mean by original document? The document which will not have any impact on the ledger level. It is not a leading ledger, it is not a non-leading ledger, it is the entry view. Entry view is nothing but from where the document has come out. Whether the document has come out from the FI or the document has posted in the MM or the document has got posted in the SD or where, from which entry the document has been hitting to a general ledger. So when I open this document in my entry view, what is the accounting entry? The accounting entry look like this. In the entry view I'm talking about. The accounting entry will look like this. What is the accounting entry? So normally you see the inventory of raw material account to GR, IR, clearing account. This is what exactly when I open the document in my general ledger view. So in the general ledger view, SAP will not have any, I mean to say that SAP will not show to which particular ledger the transaction has got posted, whether it has got posted to the OL or it is posted to the non-leading ledgers. No, nothing. In the entry view, you will not find any kind of information about the GL. Nothing, no information is provided. So entry view only talks about the document which has got reconciled from the source system. That is what exactly we call it as from the source module, that is MM or PP or H or what it may be, and integrated to your general ledger accounting. That is for the FI. Now, now I'm telling that SAP AC Docker table is nothing but it is going to be called as a multi-gap capability. Multi-gap capability. Now, if I go to the system here, when I open a new system, when I open a new GUI transaction, now let me see here. One second, sir. The screen has got hanged out. Okay, now when I open a new portion, see if I go to the table called as SE16 now, I'm going to the table called as SE16. Here I'm going to compare both the tables, BSEC table and parallelly I'm also opening the transaction at the AC Docker table. Okay, now first I'll open the AC Docker, Docker table. Now when I press enter, now here in this AC Docker table, we have the concept called as the ledger. We have called as the concept called as the ledger. AC Docker table is a multi-gap capability with the RLD NR field. RLD NR field. This ledger field is going to be called as RLD NR. If I go and F1, if I want to look up the field name of this particular ledger, so if I press F1, I will see that there is a concept, there is a field name called as RLD NR. Now parallelly, I will also open the new screen. Parallelly, I will also open the new GUI. This new GUI, in this new GUI, I will give the another table which is going to be called as the BSEC table. Now I just remove this and I'll type the BSEC. Okay, I'm typing the BSEC table. Now if I open the BSEC table, now see the difference here. We see the difference between this is the AC Docker table and this is what exactly BSEC table now. So my dear friends, whenever you are implementing SAP S4HANA with the central finance, it is very, very important that the consultant should have an experience, at least he should have an experience in SAP S4HANA implementation project. At least one implementation project he has to be done before you go for the central finance, because central finance is not only doing about the central finance concept like setting the central finance configuration mapping and doing about the initial load and mapping. No, nothing. That particular consultant should have experience in SAP S4HANA as a greenfield implementation. Only those consultants can be taken as a central finance consultant, because you have to do the lot configuration. Earlier, I think Rajesh or Yogesh, they have kept one question to me. What is the functional consultant role in the central finance? So this is major consultant role, that you have to do the master data configuration before you do the central finance configuration. Come on. Okay, so if I execute now, if I give the OL is nothing but your leading ledger. Now I'll give the company code called as HANA. HANA is nothing but my company code. Okay, now I want to see the documents which you have posted at the 2019. Now, when I click on execute, now it will show the documents in 2019. Now you can see here at the ledger level, you can see the documents. So at the ledger level, so I have given only one ledger that is going to be calling as the OL. Now, if I want to see the documents which have got posted to all the ledgers, hey, Mahesh, you are telling that there are ledger specific documents are there. Okay, now ledger specific documents means one document can be posted to multiple ledgers. Now I'll take one example here. Okay, I'll take one example. Now let me go to the same document number. For example, I'll go to the document number 7 or 6 or whatever. Okay, I'll go to the document number 6. Now 6 is the document number. Now what I will do here, I'll go to FB03. I'm doing all this in central finance system. I'll go to FB03 and I'll give the document number 6 and I'll give the company code called as a HANA and 2019. Now I'm pressing enter. Now when I press enter, now you can see here the document, this is going to be calling it as the entry view. This is called as an entry view. How do I know this is the entry view? Because in this entry view, I cannot see any ledgers documents which have got posted. There is no ledger. You can see here. If I go to the header also, I cannot see to which ledger the document has got posted. Either it has got posted to the OL or non-leading ledgers. I don't have any kind of information about the ledgers here. No. Entry view doesn't talk about the ledgers. Entry view only talks about the source document which you have got from the various other modules only. It will not talk. So these entry view documents are going to be stored in which table? These entry view documents are going to be stored in a table called as BSEC. Where is the BSEC? BSEC is the table which will talk about the entry view. Now, if I want to see the general ledger view, now if I click on the GL view, now I'm shifting the mode from the entry view to the GL view at the line item level. Both are going to be at the line item level, not at the header level, not at the header level. Now, if I click on the general ledger view, now you can see. Now I can see ledger OL has got posted. Now you can see. Earlier, if I'm shifting back to the entry view, I don't have any information about the ledger. I don't have any information. If I want to see the ledger view, now here I have the ledger called as the OL. OL is nothing but your leading ledger. Mahesh, tell me one thing, is it has got posted only to one ledger or it has got posted to multiple ledgers? No, it has got posted to only one ledger. Why? Because if I don't see any other ledgers over here, it has got posted to only one ledger. Now, can you tell me, Mahesh, if the same document, because I have two non-leading ledgers and I have one leading ledger, how do I know that this document has got posted to one ledger or it has got posted to multiple ledgers? Now, if you have only one ledger configuration, here I am not seeing any type of new field which is going to be called as other ledgers. Actually, if I got posted to other ledgers, I see the field called as other ledgers, but I'm not seeing the field called as other ledgers. That is the reason you are seeing only one ledger. The document has got posted to one ledger. If it has got posted to another ledgers, there is a one more icon we'll be seeing over here. If I click on that icon, it will take me to the another ledgers. I hope you have seen all these settings in SAP S4HANA. Very, very important. Now, this is called as ledger view. In the ledger view, you can see here raw material. This is the GL account, and this is my GL account. Cash account is a GL account, and the raw material account is going to be called a GL because I'm shifting from the entry view to the GL. When I'm shifting to the entry view to the GL view, I see only the GL accounts. I see only the GL accounts. No other accounts cannot be seen over here. Only the GL accounts can be seen. But when I shift to the entry view is the document which has got replicated or which has got posted from the source system to the target system. Okay, now I'll take you one document. So I'll go back. Now I'll go to FB03. I'll go to FB03. Now I'll press enter. I don't want to view any documents here, sir. I'm just removing the document. I'm just giving the company code. I'm in central finance system. I am in central finance system. Now now I'll go to the document list and I'll give the document date, fiscal year. Now show me the documents now. Okay. Now when I click on execute, yes, I see these many documents are there. These many documents are there in SAP S4HANA. Now, just go to here. This is called as your change layout. This is called as your change layout. Now, from the change layout, just put the columns here. Okay. Now, I want a column. I want logical system. Source company code. Source company code, logical system, and source company code. Okay, right. Okay. Now I'm just incorporating two fields. Logical system is nothing but your ECC system. This is your logical system. Okay. When I go to the logical system, this is your EPX is nothing but your logical system. Okay. Now I'm going to be two tables. Okay. I'm putting in the logical system and what is the source company code? Here, this is called as the target company code. Target company code is nothing but in SAP S4HANA. What is the source company code? Source company code is nothing but your SAP ECC company code. Now I'm just taking the two icons. Now when I press enter, see, very, very important. Okay, when I press enter, now here I'm going to be getting logical systems data. Means these are the documents where I have posted from the source system to the target system. Only these three documents are available. Now you can see here. Okay, now if I see here, okay, now when I double click on it,
How did we get other documents here?
They are posted manually, sir, directly in SAP S4HANA, because without any information, the consultants have posted directly in SAP, but that should not be posted in SAP S4HANA.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Actually, we should not post any center finance document directly in SAP S4HANA in a real time. The documents has to get from the source system to the target system only. Okay. If you are posting directly in SAP S4HANA, what is the problem, sir? I have the misleading of the reconciliation report between the source system and the target system, because in the target system, one GL account is showing with another balance. In the source system, the same GL account is showing with another balance. Then there is no tally of your accounting documents between the source system and the target system. So what is the recommendation here? Always the documents has to come from the source system to the target system only.
Mahesh, it's a very good question. Actually, I had the same question, but I did not ask you.
Yeah.
So I was wondering myself, like, why can't we just post the documents in the central finance system, like in one HANA system, S4 HANA system? You just explained. I mean, can you put it on paper? I mean, and tell me how this is going to be an issue, or maybe we can take it later. But I'll take
it later, sir. Don't worry. Okay, I'll take it later.
Okay.
First, we are in the sync. Okay. Now we are in the sync of explaining about the document. So let me.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, go ahead.
When you get to that answer, is there a way to prevent this from happening? That when you got people, S4 HANA system, the central finance, new documents can be posted. Is there a control out there that can be exercised for this to happen?
Okay.
So what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So are you saying that if a company is on S4 HANA and then they have three other company codes which are in central finance,
okay,
and if you want to merge all of those in central finance, that is not doable?
I mean to say that, sir. So earlier you are into the ECC. Am I right, sir?
No, I'm saying one company code is already there in central in S4 HANA.
Okay, sir.
Now they decided that while we go through this process of implementing in S4 HANA, let's quickly also consolidate this so we get the results quickly before the initial implementation is complete. So they keep on implementing in S4 HANA, but at the same time, they also have those going into central finance. Is that not doable?
Okay, so you're talking about, one second, sir. If I understand your question correctly, just 1 second. Now you're talking about post implementation or pre-implementation, sir?
No, I'm talking about the implementation scenario.
Okay, right. So implementation scenario related to central finance. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, let me give you a practical example in my current project.
Okay, so I'm taking the ECC one example, and
no,
I have.
No ECC.
There is no ECC. Okay, right. So there is no ECC means you have another system, sir?
At this point, we started with S4 HANA.
Okay, very good.
Some company code in S4 HANA.
Okay, sir. So
now
first,
the client has seen that it's taking a lot of time. Let's quickly do central finance so that we can get the benefit of central finance for even for those company codes which are not going to be there in S4 HANA as well as which are implemented in S4 HANA. So are you saying that is not doable?
No, that is not doable, sir. I don't know which article. Can you show me that article, sir? Let me go through that.
It's not article. I'm talking about my current project.
No. See, normally central finance is a project where we are going to be having only the financial transactions are getting replicated from the source system to the target system. Okay. You can talk, okay, I am Mahesh. Earlier, we have the central finance system. Okay, sorry. Earlier, we have the SAP S4HANA system. Okay, right. Now, this implementation we have done in 2017. Now, we have done all the implementations. Okay, mean to say that we are not using any source systems. We are directly doing all the postings in SAP S4HANA system. Now, when we call that postings you are making in SAP S4HANA system, not through the integrating with other ERP sources or not non-ERP sources, when the transactions are getting posted in SAP S4HANA, no, I cannot call it as a central finance system. Why I'm telling you? Because you're using SAP S4HANA, the normal box, how you are going to be using earlier as the SAP ECC. Now, what is happening? Your company is going to merge the other companies in the later years. Something like your company is going to be merging with other ERP companies. Like, okay, they have the SAP ECC or non-SAP systems. So you thought that every time, instead of going this kind of mergings and acquisitions, so instead of going with the rollouts, what I would like to do, simple, very simple here is nothing but I want to go with the central finance. So when you have to go with the central finance, after you complete the year-end closing activities.
Yeah.
So once you've done the year-end closing activities, once you complete all the year-end closing activities, then what I will do here is nothing but I will go and I will have the non-SAP system to the connected to your SAP S4HANA system. Why? Because already you have done some transactions in SAP S4HANA before you go for the central finance. So first you complete all these year-end closing activities for all the company codes. Very, very important, sir. You complete that portion. Then after that, after you complete the year-end closing activities, then you can have the other ERP sources or other non-ERP sources connecting and replicating the process to your SAP S4HANA.
SAP Central Finance, you mean?
Exactly. You can call it as Central Finance.
So what happens to the S4HANA company code which got closed? Now are they going?
Okay, they are going to be available. Now what I'm going to do here is nothing but now already you are using the SAP S4HANA company codes and everything here. Now already you have all the company codes which are available in SAP S4HANA. Now what I'm going to do here is, in that case, if you are telling in that case, if I have the SAP S4HANA company code, now what I will do here is, the existing company codes, whatever the existing company codes, I will remain as it is without any disturbance over here. I'll do all the time. Now, what is happening here? Now, whatever the new company codes you are supposed to be taking, because now the existing company codes, if you want to use them, and two things are there, sir. One, very, very important. No, Mahesh, do one thing. I'm not going to delete the existing company codes. Example, I'm telling you, we cannot delete any company codes. Example, I'm telling, okay. I want to work with the existing company codes as it is. I want to post the data to the existing company codes. Now, whatever the new portion you are telling, that whatever the new acquisitions which have got, acquired one company, acquired two companies, acquired three companies, these systems are there. Whatever the new thing. Now, in this case, I cannot go with the central finance. I had to go with the rollout project only. No, I cannot go with the central finance project. I had to go with the rollout, because already you have the company codes are already available in SAP S4HANA. Those are the productive company codes. And what I'm telling in the central finance, you should not directly post any transactions directly in the SAP S4HANA, because all the replications has to be done. All the replications has to be done from the source system to the target system. Okay. In that case, then what happened to my company codes, which are already been using as a productive operation? So yes, now here there is a solution. Now what I'm telling here is very, very important. Good question, sir. Now I'm taking ECC. This is also new acquired company codes. These are the new acquiring company codes. Okay. Now here I'm using the company code called as 0001. And here I'm going to be using the company code called as 002. And here I'm going to be using the company code called as 003. Now these are the source company codes. Now already you have the company codes over here. Now this source company code I'm integrating with the another target company code. I'm creating a new company code in SAP S4HANA. Okay, very good. Now here this one, the third one, this is also third one, 003. Now till here I don't have any problems, sir. Okay, very good. But what happened to the existing? Now I have company codes called as IN10. I have the company code called as US10. And I have the company code called as UK10. Example, I have these 3 company codes are already, and these are the productive company codes. I'm not stopping this company codes. These are going to be continued. Then what I will do, these 3 company codes data, you have to directly post in SAP S4HANA only. No other source. And whatever the replications you are going to be seeing future, because my company is not stopping acquiring only these 3 companies. In future also I'm going to be acquiring a lot. So what I will do here, for these 3 source companies codes, which are the source systems, I will have the replication process like a center finance, where I'm posting all the transactions in ECC, so that I can replicate the transaction. But when you come to the existing company codes, I would like to post only in SAP S4HANA, because these transactions are not getting replicated from any other source system, because these are directly implemented in SAP S4HANA.
So in S4HANA, company codes cannot be replicated into central finance. Is that right?
SAP S4HANA company codes cannot be replicated means you don't have the source system, no sir. First of all.
No, but
No, you can actually, you can, but you don't need to.
Yeah.
In essence, you can replicate anything.
Yeah, except these 3 company codes, all the company codes can be replicated. But in these 3 company codes,
can be.
Yeah.
Can these 3 company codes also be replicated into central finance or not?
No, we cannot replicate.
Cannot?
No.
So S4HANA can never be a source system for central finance?
No. I think you're confusing, sir.
No, Mahesh, let me say, on to your left, let's say you have S4HANA system instead of ECC.
Yeah.
Your company code is 0001. Can we do it or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Mahesh, this is, if you got ECC 1, 2, 3, and instead of ECC, this has S4HANA, and you got SLT, what is the difference? You can replicate that back into central finance, okay? It doesn't really matter.
No. Yogesh's question is completely different here. Yogesh's question is completely different.
It's not different.
No, that's what I'm reading. I'm very confused about all this discussion that's going on here, okay? The question
No. One thing, sir, I'll come to one thing. Yogesh, okay, here this is the SLT, Yogesh. Okay, this is the SLT. 1 second, sir. This is the replication. Okay, system landscape replication. Now here, this SAP S4HANA already you implemented in 2016, 2017. I'm right, Yogesh? Your first question.
Yes.
Already you implemented. Means already you are doing the live system with SAP S4HANA only, not with the source system.
But then in that case, I will not install. I will have central finance as a separate server, right? I can have that.
Answer means what is the central finance, sir? So one thing. Ajay sir, can you please mute your call?
Yeah.
Can you restate,
Mahesh, can you restate the question? Very confused, okay? Restate the question, please, so that we can understand. Okay?
I'll tell. Okay, so. So this is my SAP S4HANA as a greenfield implementation without any ECC integration or non-SAP integration. SAP S4HANA. Normally, I'm doing normal, okay? Landscape, my development system, quality system, and my production system. This is the greenfield implementation. Now, when I come to here, 1, 2, and 3. And what I'm going to do here is, I'm taking a new server. Two examples here. I'm taking a new server. Okay, now there is a SLT here. There is a SLT, and through the SLT, these non-SAP and SAP systems are triggering the accounting documents. So non-SAP to SAP, they're going to be triggering the documents. And this is my central finance system here. This is my central finance system. SAP S4HANA. Now this is the new greenfield implementation. Just like a greenfield implementation, I'm doing the central finance implementation. So when you can take a central finance implementation, just like a any source companies, okay, if you take something like Apollo Ties or MRF Ties, whatever maybe any company you take, they have not been implemented with SAP S4HANA as of now. Still, they are working with the source system with the SAP ECC to SAP S4HANA only. Okay, sorry, ECC to SAP S4. Now, if you already have the SAP S4HANA system in your company, as example, I'm telling that. Now, I can take this SAP S4HANA system as a separate instant. I can take this, and what I will do, I'll put it here.
Yeah.
I'll put it here. Now, what is happening? Now you can have the ECC. Now you can have the one more ECC, and this is the non-SAP, and this is this system I'm talking about, SAP S4HANA. Now, okay, like this. Now, what I can do here? Now already there are 3 company codes are already there, sir. US 10, UK 10, and IN 10 already implemented the company codes here. Now I can do this SAP S4HANA system as one of the source system, and I can replicate the data.
Yeah, true.
This is one part, sir.
All we need to do is to have the central finance installed on a separate server, and
exactly,
then even though the transactions are posted on S4HANA,
exactly, sir. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Is it answered? Your question has answered, sir?
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised when you said it's not doable.
No. I'm just confused about the question here.
Okay,
I'm extremely sorry, Rajesh. Actually, what I thought here, no, you want to use the same. See, this is central finance system, sir. What I understood here is the same system, whatever the earlier you are using, I can do this as a central finance system. No, you cannot do like that.
Yeah.
I confused. I'm sorry, sir.
No. I think I did not put it correctly. So.
No, you got the answer, sir?
Yeah, Mahesh,
yes, sir, Rajesh, sir. Yes, sir, Rajesh, sir.
Mahesh, can I say something? You discussed this possibility.
Please. Yes, sir.
You discussed this possibility 4 weeks ago, okay? It's no different. And by the way, in your lectures, you also said, you're absolutely correct. You said, they asked you that question, SAP S4HANA, you can take out of the box and there are no notes to be applied, okay? You have to apply the notes to ECC. You have to apply the notes to NSAP, making sure the financial integration is working. On S4HANA, no notes have to be applied. And we specifically discuss this scenario. It's the same scenario. Okay? Thank you.
Exactly correct. You are right. Why? Because you are already using the SAP S4HANA. Because your SAP S4HANA data structure is same as your central finance system. No need to implement any kind of notes for this. Okay. Now, when I go to the source system here, my source system is nothing but now I am a little bit. Now you have 1, 2 ECC systems are there. Example, one ECC system server name is going to be called as EPX. Okay, I'll take like this. Okay, now one server name, because normally how to identify which documents have come and hit to my SAP S4HANA, because you are the SAP and non-SAP and you are SAP S4HANA. Normally what we will do, we will take the logical system ID. Very, very important. So this is the certification question also. Logical, in interview also they will ask logical system ID. System ID. Every system will have the logical system ID. Actually, what is the logical system ID here? When I go to the logical system ID, when I click on here, this is my logical system ID. DB2 is nothing but my logical system ID. And when I go to my SAP ECC here, when I go to my SAP EPX, and which client you are logging, sir? I'm logging to the 800 client. I'm logging to the 800 client, and my system ID is going to be called as EPX. Now, when I come and see the transactions, in the document list, here you can see the logical system here. Very, very important, sir. They'll put you some interview questions same like this only. Okay. How do you know Yogesh, and how do you know Ajay? How do you know Rajesh? From which source system the documents has come and hit to your central finance system? Then I can go and see the logical system over here. Okay, the logical system here is nothing but EPX, and the client is going to be called as 800. Means this is the source client, and you are in the target client called as a DB2. DB2 is nothing but your central finance client. Now, when I open this document, what is the document number here? The document number is a 10. When I double click on the document, very, very important. This is very, very important, please.
you're going to get the document from the source system.
No, not in the source system. I'm seeing the document in the target system only, but I will see how the document is going to look like.
That's what I said.
But Yogesh, Ajay, and Rajesh, I'm telling, even though we have the experience in SAP S4HANA as a greenfield implementation, let me know that we are already SME level. Okay, understand that. But when a project comes as a central finance project, then it is a very new to you. Why? Because we don't know, because the central finance is a 60%, it is an efforts on technical rather than going with the functional. Central finance is a 60%, it is a technical, but as a consultant, as a functional consultant, you are also doing some jobs related to the technical of this kind of mappings and everything. So every consultant who has been assigned to the central finance, definitely he has to understand the logic of the posting before you do any kind of central finance configuration. This is very, very important actually. I know that even if I go and have some experience on ECC, or even if I go and have an experience on SAP S4HANA, yes, as a consultant, I cannot go and I cannot tell myself I am a central finance consultant because I don't know what sort of configurations and what sort of mappings, what sort of initial loads, what sort of this replication process is going to work. I definitely have to understand the technicality part, because technicality is like architecture level.
Mahesh, there are only three things: the initial load, the MDG, and the replication. That is the heart of central finance, okay? Otherwise, the business side remains the same, whether it's same thing as S4HANA. So you know, if you know initial load, replication, and MDG, you have learned the basis of central finance. That's what I think.
Yeah, correct. But the knowledge here is looking about the logical systems and the business system.
Absolutely.
Yes, the logical has to be understood from that way actually.
So next time, next week, when we get together on Monday, we were talking about the currency settings and Akadoga table. Complete that.
No, sir. One thing, sir. Rajesh, Ajay. Thanks for Ajay sir bringing this point here. Ajay sir, can you mute your call 1 second? Just
sure.
One information I want to pass to all of you. Thank you. Rajesh and Yogesh and Ajay sir, next week, 2 days I'm not going to be available. I'm taking eye surgery. So what I'm going to do here is, tomorrow we have a class, sir. Tomorrow we have a class at the same time for you. Okay, if okay, that is going to be the same for me. It is going to be the 5:30 a.m. Okay, so tomorrow we have the class. Next week, Wednesday and Thursday, I will not be available. I'm just taking my eye surgery. Actually, I'm my right eye is not correctly. I'm not viewing the system. Actually, there is a retina problem, so I'm taking small operation over there.
Mahesh, take care of that. Okay. Frankly speaking, I will not be able to attend this class, and I'm trying to attend every single class. I've got commitments like that, so.
Don't worry, sir. Don't worry, because already SAP S4HANA concept, you know. So tomorrow also for Yogesh and for Rajesh, I'll take some concepts on SAP S4HANA, sir. What do you say, Yogesh, sir? Is it clear, Yogesh and Rajesh?
I'm good.
Okay. I will try to
attend, but tomorrow for Yogesh and for Rajesh, I'll take something like SAP S4HANA, because that is the most important actually before you do the master data configuration. Okay.
Yes.
So Rajesh.
Sure, Mahesh. I'm good.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
I'll try to.
Please.
I'll try to attend.
Why I'm telling to Ajay sir, because Ajay sir has already gone the training with me in SAP S4HANA, and maybe he has already worked in SAP S4HANA project. So for him, it is not going to be required, but he will try to attend, it seems. Okay. So for you both, it is going to be required, sir, please. Okay. I'll take some special classes on SAP S4HANA.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Mahesh, I'll try to be there.
Yes, sir.
I'll try to be there tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
If possible, can you please create that document? Because usually I spend most of the time.
Okay. Just give me the Saturday and Sunday time, sir. I will be free for something like a couple of hours, because actually I'm going operation on Tuesday night. Actually, Tuesday something like. So there is something. I'm not feeling well with the right eye. I'm not visible to see the things on my laptop because of continuation of this everything. So there is some problem with this. So they want to do small operation. Huh?
Mahesh, your eyesight is important. That should be
now currently also I'm looking with one eye only. Currently I'm taking the classes and I'm working in my company with only one eye, not with the second eye.
No. Let me tell you one thing. Frankly speaking, you have only two eyes. and they need to be functioning. That's number one.
No worries, sir.
The class can wait, okay?
I'll take, sir.
I'm very compassionate that way, okay? All right.
What, Yogesh sir? What you're telling, sir?
No, is that cataract?
Cataract only, yeah.
Cataract.
Then I think you will need to take some rest as well.
No. 2 days is enough. Okay, so 2 days is enough
Hey,
for me. I already consult with the doctor, so he told that 2.5 days is enough, and don't give a lot of strain to the eye. So there will be some there will be some contact will be there. So they are going to put some band-aids for next 3 to 4 days, and I can manage, sir. Don't worry.
Don't try to go in the sun, okay? And Mahesh,
they told me, yes, they told me earlier all the things.
Mahesh, you're getting old like us, okay? All right.
Definitely, sir. One time everybody has to become the old only. Don't worry about that. Yogesh and Rajesh, you stay in US, sir?
Yes, Mahesh.
In which state?
I live in New Jersey.
Oh, very good, sir. Yogesh, sir?
Texas.
Oh, very good.
Hey, Mahesh is my next door neighbor. I live in Houston, okay?
So tomorrow we'll have the class, sir. Okay, don't worry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
you. Can you bring the other screen? I just want to take the screenshot. The other screen.
This one, sir.
The one where you were explaining the document and all that.
What I will do, sir, I'll take the screenshot and I will send it to you. I'll upload in the blog.
Okay. And okay, we are meeting tomorrow anyway, but I've posted some questions in there.
Yeah. So, tomorrow, let me check. If those questions really I need to answer with the technicality, then I'll take up direct question tomorrow, sir. If those questions are theoretically answered, means I'll reply to that.
Okay, perfect.
See, sir, I've taken the screenshot and let me.
This one.
Not this one, Mahesh. The other one.
Which one, sir?
You should have other one. Yeah, that one.
That one.
Okay.
I can take that 1 minute.
Take. Okay, take. But tomorrow I'm going to have the class on the same thing also.
Yeah.
Because this is very important actually, source document and the central finance document.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to visit our Vimeo page and follow for more upcoming videos.